If a nuclear bomb hit New York City, the consequences would be catastrophic and devastating. Here's a detailed breakdown of what would likely happen, based on scientific models and historical data. What would happen if a nuclear bomb hit New York City? Immediate effects. Blast wave. The immediate blast would destroy buildings, infrastructure, and cause immense casualties. Within a few miles of the epicenter, most structures would be obliterated, and the force of the explosion would cause severe damage further out. Thermal radiation. The intense heat generated would cause widespread fires and severe burns. People within a few miles of the explosion would suffer third-degree burns. Electromagnetic pulse, EMP. A nuclear explosion generates an EMP that can disable electronic devices and communication systems over a large area. Fallout and radiation. Initial radiation. High levels of radiation would be released instantly, causing immediate fatalities for those within the vicinity. Radioactive fallout. The bomb would release radioactive particles into the atmosphere, which would then settle back to the ground over a wide area, creating long-term health hazards and contaminating the environment. Human impact. Casualties. Immediate casualties would be in the hundreds of thousands to millions, depending on the bomb's yield and the population density at the time of detonation. Medical crisis. Hospitals and medical facilities would be overwhelmed, and there would be a dire shortage of medical supplies and personnel. Evacuations. Mass evacuations would be necessary, but logistical challenges and damaged infrastructure would make this extremely difficult. Environmental and economic impact. Destruction of infrastructure. Critical infrastructure including transportation, power, water supply, and communication networks would be destroyed or severely disrupted. Economic collapse. The economic impact would be severe, with the destruction of businesses, loss of jobs, and a significant blow to both local and national economies. Environmental damage. Widespread fires and radioactive contamination would cause long-term environmental damage, affecting air quality, water sources, and the ecosystem. Long-term consequences. Health issues. Survivors would face long-term health issues including cancer, genetic damage, and psychological trauma. Reconstruction. Rebuilding the city would take years and require enormous resources, with some areas remaining uninhabitable for decades. Social and political fallout. The social fabric would be strained, with potential for widespread panic, civil unrest, and political upheaval. Global impact. International relations. The use of a nuclear weapon would have profound implications for international relations, likely leading to heightened tensions and possibly triggering further conflicts. Global economy. The global economy would be affected, especially if New York's financial district was impacted, disrupting global markets. Preparedness and response. Emergency services. The response would involve local, state, and federal agencies, but the scale of the disaster would overwhelm initial efforts. Disaster relief. International aid and disaster relief efforts would be mobilized, but coordinating such efforts would be a monumental task. In summary, the detonation of a nuclear bomb in New York City would result in immediate massive loss of life, destruction of infrastructure, long-term health and environmental issues, and far-reaching economic and geopolitical consequences.